What inspired me to come was to learn more about how mission is done. Many times we've been talking about the Great Commission, but it came to my understanding that actually we need to be equipped with the necessary skills on how to do outreach, because in most cases I've heard of stories where missionaries always go and face insults, and maybe they're not welcomed and they always end up disappointed. Partly it's because maybe they have not been skilled or mentored or groomed that where you're going you'll find such. So one of my greatest inspiration was to really come and understand how best I can be able to deal with such ups and downs if I'm on the mission ground. Yeah. And then my expectations, of course, this being a missional leadership training ground, I expected to find leaders or people who have been at mission grounds, practical people that have been there, to hear the experiences, how they have been coping up, and also to hear from them and get to understand what has been their challenges, what inspired them, how did they actually realize that God was speaking to them to go and do mission, because sometimes it's not an easy one. I've heard of people saying they would go for 1 year, others 6 months, and I believe it's practically not an easy decision to make for someone to tell you that you go for a whole year in a totally new environment. So my expectation was to really get to hear those stories and really to learn more from these people. What the Lord has spoken to me, there's one thing that I have really learned. It is discipleship is very, very key for every mission. Many other times we've been going to different parts preaching the word of God, but we've not always had that aftermath strategy. And the aftermath strategy is discipleship. Like after people have come to Christ, we need to disciple them. Also, one of our preachers noted about the point of it's in many times we tend to focus more on the people we have brought to God rather than us bringing God to the people. So I believe in one way of bringing God to people is through discipleship, and I personally believe that I'll be able to commit to at least walk with a group of new believers so that they are not just there. They have not just come and then they have to figure out life on their own. But also praying for those who are in hostile environments. We had one testimony of one of the missionaries that is operating in Saudi Arabia, and it's hostile there, and I hope we all know that, because there it is Sharia law. Anything not in Sharia law, once they hear you talking about Jesus, man, you're dead. But he is there. So I think it's high time that we get concerned about such people and we start praying for them. And I would love to commit to do that, to be intentional, praying for such people so that they are strengthened. It's one thing that really made me kind of happy or kind of scared a bit. One of the preachers told us that those missionaries, they used to come with those long cases or boxes. At first, it would contain their goods, but another importance for those long cases were to act as coffins. In other words, they were prepared to come, preach the gospel, and if they die, then they would use those boxes as coffins. So I was a bit scared, but yeah, I think I have now understood that when I decide to go for a mission, I'm going wholehearted. And if I'm maybe in a mission in my workplace or in my surrounding area, maybe my institution, all that, I should be ready to die for that gospel. I should be ready to die for that truth. You should be ready to lose that job when you find a chain of corrupt leaders, and they're telling you, if you do not join us, we are chasing you out. You should be able to carry your coffin, stand out for the truth. It's been a very profound training. It's something that I would really highly recommend for every person outside there. Pastors, youth leaders, reverends, vicars, please make sure that you send those young people, those students, those pastors to come and be equipped